glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Input Man, and in this review, we are taking a look at Transformers Legacy Laser Optimus Prime. So let's dig into this bad mamma jamma. Alright guys, so we're going to start off in bot mode here. I know he comes in truck mode in the packaging with his trailer and stuff next to him, but I always fiddle with my Transformers out of package. As soon as I get them, I transform them. Blah, blah, blah. You guys aren't here, or not here to hear me talk about what I do. You're here for this guy. And you know what? Right off the bat, here's a spoiler for the review. Simply put, if you don't want to sit here for the next 10 minutes, he's awesome. Buy it! It's that simple. He's just an amazing figure. But for those of you guys who decided to stick around after I told you guys to buy it and how awesome he is, let's dig into it, man. I'm not going to go over articulation here because it is the exact same as Earthrise Prime and stuff. There are some hindrances here, but they kind of make up for it too by adding flaps. So you can get a full range of motion here on the arm to go out instead of it just kind of being blocked like that. Right, so this flap does hinge up, and bam, and there you go. You do get some wrist articulation right there. His hands do not open like the Earthrise figure. I do think that is a bit of a setback on this figure, but he does have the open hands, like, I don't know, kind of like the gap in between the thumb and the finger and stuff. So it's kind of open, kind of closed, whatever. But I do think that is a setback on the figure itself. But that, you know, some people care, some people don't. You do get the traditional matrix in the chest, and it's super cool. It's super welcome on this figure because the original figure did not have that. As you can see, it is set in there. It is a pain in the ass to get out, but it is relatively easy to put back in. Alright guys, so I got the matrix out of the chest right here. It does light up. There's some really cool light piping in it as I bring it closer. It is a new mold for the matrix. Yes, I know, the matrix got another mold. After Studio 86 Hot Rod, that matrix was a new mold as well. Slightly different mold, but a new mold. And here we got the Earthrise matrix right there. I'm going to try to hold them side by side as best as I can. And as you can see, there is a different look to the matrix. This one, the bottom one I feel like is more accurate to the size and the shape of what it's supposed to be to the 86 movie when we first see it. I feel like this one, the top one that comes with Earthrise Prime, is a little bit more stylized for Earthrise. But I have seen this design somewhere before, and I just can't put my finger on it. But it is, as you guys can see, it is slightly thinner. I mean, not by much, but it's the, not the handle, but it's the little ball section that's thinner. So, yeah. But that's the Matrix all in a nutshell, and let's get back to the figure. I'm going to dive into bot mode real quick. This guy is astonishing, man. He hits that G2 Laser Prime itch perfectly. It is done extremely well. This entire back piece is painted black. It is molded in this clear blue plastic, and it is, unfortunately, hinged right here. But I will say what they did do that I like what they did this time, that this whole section here is clear plastic, but they kind of reinforced it with this red plastic and drove the pin through that. So there really isn't any section of this cab that has clear plastic and a pin going through it. This section of the cab, it's two pieces. So this section of the windshield and all that stuff, that's the clear blue plastic. As you can see right here, there is a divide. And I absolutely am grateful for that because it doesn't put a whole lot of stress or any stress at all on the clear plastic, so you could still, so you don't have to worry about this snapping because of the plastic being fatigued or anything. But yeah, the robot mode is spot on perfect. Don't believe me? Judge for yourself. I mean, there you go. The colors are exactly where they need to be. Mine kind of suffers, my actual G2 Laser Prime kind of suffers from the legs sloping in, because that's a problem that those kind of figures with that transformation has over the years. But as you guys can see, the coloring is damn near perfect. This blue is a slightly darker shade of that blue, but it's kind of in the same hue, so that's fine. I don't really mind that at all. The yellow right here, kind of homaging the stickers and stuff that are on his shoulders and everything. The matrix, you know, the chest piece is obviously, you know, it doesn't say Optimus Prime here, but it does there. And the only real paint decal that this guy is missing that this one has are the kneecaps. The feet are blue, except for the back part of the feet. They should be completely blue, not just the front, but take that for what you will. It is what it is. But like I said, this figure is pretty much a one-to-one recreation here. Now, I will get in here with some yellow paint. I will paint these yellow. I will paint these horns silver, because that's something that really should have been done. But I'm not angry or upset by it or anything like that in any form or fashion. So yeah, so that's what the comparison of the robot modes with the original is and looks like. And something that I think is super neat, you can't really make it out, is the color of the eyes are blue, just like G1 Optimus Prime. I do prefer yellow eyes on Optimus Prime, and I will say I would have preferred them here as well, so his eyes don't look so sunken in. Kind of, the yellow would have helped break up the blue. I think that's something that really should have been done, and honestly something I might end up doing myself. Something else the robot mode has are the missile pods right up here. Now, I don't understand why these are done in a translucent piece, or at least I don't understand why the missiles are not colored or painted. But again, that's something that can be done on your own, but it's something that I do question why it wasn't done, you know, just wasn't done. But it is cool that this is now something, because on the original toy, this isn't anything, and the fact that they made these missile pods, man, that is super, super cool. A lot of reused parts here on this guy from Earthrise, and a lot, actually, let me rephrase that. Very minimal usage of new parts on this guy from the Earthrise figure. Don't believe me? Bam! Now you will, okay? So, so anyway, so the new pieces on him, we've got new crotch piece, and, or this, I'm sorry, let me say the same pieces. So the pieces that are the same are the hips right here, and the thighs are the same pieces, and the covers here look to be the same. Everything else that you see on this guy is a new mold. Actually, I take that back. The feet are the same as well. They're cast in a different shade of blue, and no silver on the front of the toes, as you guys can see right there. So yeah, the feet are the same, but everything else on this guy is new molding. Man, it is really, really awesome. Now, enough of me rambling about this guy in robot mode. Let's take a look at his trailer before we go into truck mode. Actually, before we get into truck mode, I want to talk about his weapons real quick. He does have an axe. I guess this would be an Energon axe. He does have his traditional G2 sword, and he does have a gun. Now, this is the top of the tanker and the trailer, and this is his gun. Man, this gun misses the mark altogether. It doesn't really tab in too well. It will stay, but it just doesn't go all the way down. and it kind of sits on top of the wrist area like that. And I really do not like the design of this gun. His gun really should have been more of a traditional Optimus Prime gun or a traditional G2 gun, Laser Prime gun. You do have the axe, which can be wielded on its own. The sword can be wielded on its own. And then they are meant to combine. Handle slides into the top of the axe. Now, I hate the way this looks because this handle right here on the sword is sticking way too far up. And it is slightly too heavy for him to hold. It's just, I don't know. It does make the joints feel really, really weak on the guy. But other than that, I like the weapons separately. I love the fact that he still comes with a gun because modern day Hasbro is really kind of pick and choose what they want to give you. But at the end of the day, I think the weapons are done extremely well, and I do think the gun could have been different or better. But yeah, that's the weapons. Now let's go into truck mode. Alright guys, so here we have the truck mode, and I gotta say, man, this just nails it. What a beautiful, well done truck mode, and it just, man, it just nails it, man. Like this, perfect. Mwah. You know, it's just one of those kind of moments. It's done so well, and it pays homage to the original figure right here as well in such a great way. And I gotta say real quick about the transformation on this guy versus this guy. I am so glad that the transformation is not the same. Neither transformation is bad whatsoever, but I am glad they went a different route transformation-wise with this guy than they did with this guy, and it still got the same exact feet. You know, it's the same feet. It's done perfectly. There are some 5mm ports here and there all over the trailer and stuff, so you can stick weapons and stuff along on him. His weapons do store inside the trailer as well. Now, as you guys can see, the flames here are not from the original one. This is a callback to the G2 Prime from, what is it, the Classics G2 Prime that had the flames on him instead of the fade. So there's a lot going on with this figure homage-wise. Like I said, with the flames, with the truck mode, and everything else, it is done extremely well. And I gotta say this one more time, Toy Hacks, come on, man, get on it. Give me my Optimus Prime sticker, man, for this guy. Let's go. All right, guys, you know what time it is? It's final thoughts time. Man, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you missed it, it's a real hard recommend, buy it kind of situation. But yeah, the things that this figure does right are spot on, and the things that I can, that I complain about, if there are any complaints really, are just nitpicks at best, like how the sword and axe combo looks with the extra handle bit sticking up, like it doesn't fit completely flush all the way down, or maybe the gun being the turret off the top of the trailer, right? Like that being his gun. It's just nitpicky kind of stuff, man. But absolutely, I love how the transformation works on this guy because it feels like an evolution of this guy, of Earthrise Optimus Prime. So they feel really connected. And when you guys get this figure and you do the transformation, I hope that you guys have at least messed around with this guy so you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. Because the chest unfolds and tucks away and stuff very similarly to Earthrise Optimus Prime, but it is still different because of how you got to get the arms around and the shoulders and stuff. It's done extremely well, man. This is Hasbro at the top of their game, 100%. We saw what they can do when they gave us Rodimus Prime as a Commander class figure, and now we're seeing what they can do with this Laser Optimus Prime from Legacy, man. Hard recommend. Absolutely love this figure. And you know what else I love? I love you guys out there. Stay safe. As always, I'll see you guys next video, and cut it out. Later.